TJ Donovan oversees Vermont State Police. Now, noting that I've told you, TJ Donovan was okay with and oversees the fact that my medical records disappeared out of Montpelier office, Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services, that they told me I had to talk to a counselor. A counselor told me that he couldn't conquer the call and that he couldn't do anything for me because I wouldn't take his silly pills. We put that on record and shared it. I also got a call from Aaron Billings, who is now a child psychologist for Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services. How the fuck does that happen? But anyways, he called me in July of 2017, audio recorded, witness to it, shared in a statement that that they were after me and I need to be careful. He didn't tell me who, so I still asked Aaron Billings who was after me. So then again in 2021, when I'm living in Island Pond, all of this starts again. My landlord came to me on April 1st of 2021 and told me, Kim, I'm not going to take your rent money. You need to go. Take your daughter and your grandson. So Michael Hatton, why did you keep on telling me, and your wife telling me, so who is it? Who is really after us? Is it one? Is it all of them? Is it the CIA and the FBI and Jeffrey Noyce and all the disciples? Who is it? So we question this again, knowing that TJ Donovan is going to be running for 22. For something, because he's the Attorney General now. I want everybody to look him up. I want you to look up B-52 scandal in Vermont, J. Peak scandal in Vermont, TJ Donovan abusing a guy, punched him in the mouth, and they lost his tooth. That defames the guy. Then I want you to look up about TJ Donovan and where does he work? Who does he represent? When TJ Donovan, being the Attorney General, is the one that everybody says, have you called the Attorney General? Don't call the Attorney General to make a complaint against any kind of state, city, or fucking government organization, because he's the one in charge of feeding the enemy the evidence, okay? So with that being said, TJ Donovan is in charge of Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services. He's in charge of the police. So here, the police, Vermont State Police, Essex County Sheriff's Department, Jeffrey Noyce, all of them involved, okay? I requested that Kevin Bickford be charged, as well as Vermont State Police, for accepting and writing false reports and statements and coming at me with a search warrant and charges where the judge already made decision in my restraining order request against Kevin Bickford that I didn't do any of the things that I was charged with. However, I am still being held accountable in the court to show up at some time, okay? And they never the charges. They've never even heard the charges. They were supposed to appoint an attorney, but see, they appointed the wrong attorneys because they appointed a senator for the state of Vermont. Conflict of interest to me. They appointed another one who was Amy Davis, which she's been a conflict of interest, so they had to get rid of her too, okay? And then Laura Wilson, who's the one that represented me at the arraignment, she's a conflict of interest. So it all is a mistrial. It should have been dismissed. But again, they keep on with the charge. Because why? It's a no contact order that Kevin frivolously has Brianna's name in, and the state frivolously has, overseen by Attorney General TJ Donovan, denied Brianna's request, as well as mine, to dismiss her name out of it, due to the fact that it was all conspired, all false, all fictitious. And so I'm requesting in writing, now that I have formally filed in federal court, here's a proof of statement, CV 519-00093, federal court. I have requested, now I demand that you open investigation into Kevin J. Bickford, his false allegations. I suggest you start with asking him his real address, as he lives in number 8 or number 6 at 109 Railroad Street, Island Pond. However, his complaints filed in Essex County Court against me claim he lives in number 6. Number 6 would be the apartment downstairs where he used to live before they moved to apartment 4, and then up to 3rd floor to number 8. Them being Brianna and Jacoby, okay? I also request that you do a formal investigation into your trooper failure who took a report by Kevin J. Bickford at apartment 8, 109 Railroad Street, Island Pond, Vermont. Again, that's the beginning of his lies in his reports. This report was taken February 15th by Trooper Ferrier and has resulted in criminal charges pending against me. This leads me to filing federal charges against you, as well as Vermont State Police Commissioner and TJ Donovan. Again, sir, as you have been requested, you have for several months been requested to look into these allegations, and you did not do so. So, with that being said, I make it aware that that was February 15th of 2021, a year ago tomorrow. TJ Donovan oversees the Vermont State Police. That is why the Vermont State Police will not check into, and it was a set up, organized, conspired crime, because they have an informant that's been living in that apartment building. He was sleeping with my daughter when she was under age of, 14 or 15, Brie? I can't remember if you were 14 at the time or 15 when you were sleeping with Kevin. He was like 21 or 22. Anyhow, at Mary Hare and Jeff Hare's house. So he was, again, being paid rent by the state. The state was paying his rent then and paying all his bills. Now, the guy had never been employed. He's not on SSI or SSDI. And it has come to my attention, and we are going to request an investigation, that Kevin Bickford has been placed in Island Pond by the Vermont State Police and DHHS in regards to being an informant. It proves to be that he probably is. Okay, he's been provided everything by the state and the town. He informs Jeffrey Noyce of everything. He writes false reports. Now, see, I'm smart enough to keep an audio record and video of what I do. So I brought it to the attention of the judge of Essex County, who has these court cases against me on behalf of Kevin that he will refuse to dismiss at the hands of TJ Donovan, right? So with that being said, I asked that TJ Donovan be investigated. And he should have been investigated many years ago. But because they're all in these scandals together, schemes and scandals, and mind you, the state of Vermont is housed by and for all the crooks, correct? All those scandals. You're going to find Bernie Sanders' name in scandals. You're going to find TJ Donovan, Jansen, Will Hoyt. You're going to see them all in scandals. But you're not going to see who in a scandal? Me. The only thing you're going to see my name mentioned in is the fact that I file lawsuits because I have proof and fact that I've been defamed, I have been abused, and I'm continuously being abused by all the officials from city and town to county, state, up to government level. Why? Is it because I tell too much of the truth? And because I reveal it all to you? That is why. Okay? Isn't that why I was able to prove my DCF case, but the judge had to say, because I have a pacemaker, he's not the fucking doctor, so he had no right, no business terminating my rights. So there's another violation that the state did, and the government in the state of Vermont allowed the judge to act as a doctor and pretend he was God when he made the decision that I'd never be able to physically care for my children. I still cared for them, and I still took care of them at the request of their fathers, because their fathers couldn't do it. And they still can't fucking do it. I'm just saying. That's a proven fact. So again, I've got so many letters by email request that TJ Donovan investigate, as well as TJ Donovan be investigated. I also have the copies of the FBI reports that are hand signature and notarized that were sent into the FBI. So why didn't they get seen, recognized? Did they get intercepted in the mail, TJ Donovan? Jeffrey Eaton? We're going to start talking about these J's, Jeffs, and Jeffs, and Jeffs. Okay? But at that, we're going to let you know, Island Pond, Vermont, Northeast Kingdom, Essex County Sheriff, Essex County, Vermont, State's Attorney Vincent Aluzzi, Vermont State Police, and Attorney General TJ Donovan, as well as Senator Benning, and all the court-appointed attorneys, not limited to But first of all, to include Laura Wilson, and why is Sten Liam, the drunk, still making decisions for court-ordered cases? I want to know the answers to that, and I'm going to give you some proof and fact that he should have never been an attorney, and I'll pull up all his cases too, as well as Jansen Wilhoit. Why is Jansen Wilhoit a public defender? TJ Donovan? Why was he the representative when I was running for state 2020? I'm not a liar, and I'm not a thief, and I'm not a cheat, and I'm not a scheming, scamming bitch. But my home got stolen, and my car got stolen. I was threatened. I was harassed. All my personal identity, all my personal belongings, violating all my rights in life, making me not eligible to run campaign for the state of Vermont. And I was secretly silenced and exiled. Isn't that right, TJ? By the state of Vermont, and replaced, without a doubt, with Jansen Wilhoit as state representative. He won that. He didn't win it. He was given it. Okay? Now he's a public defender. Where TJ Donovan is. Chittenden County. It's a no-win, people. You need to be aware. Legal aid is overseen by TJ Donovan. So is mental health services. All of these free clinics, or, you know, like Island Pond, Hardwick, all of them. Okay, they are all related. They're all brother and sister. What the fuck part of this don't you understand? My own daughter. I'm talking to you. Pay attention. It's time that you put that shit down on paper and you tell the truth. Because your life is not going to get any better until you tell the truth and you face the truth and you bring your son home. That's all I got to say about it. I love you. But until you start talking publicly, holler it. Make everybody aware. Write it on paper. Get it out. And then hold that paper up here and talk about it. Stop being silenced by the government, people. That's what they're doing to you when they put you on medications, when you're sent to Northeast Kingdom Human Services, Mental Health Services, and all this paperwork that says confidential. You sign all these confidential forms. You're signing it for the state and the government. They're the ones against you. Stop signing confidential forms. Stop giving permission for people to invade your privacy. You have the right to a private life. And all your rights are being destroyed by the government and the state when you sign. As well as when you walk out your door. You got a camera on your face. You know that? Did you say it was okay to put those cameras up on the telephone poles? Did you ask to be surveilled? Did you say it was okay? Why did the government make that choice for us to be surveilled everywhere we go? Traffic. That is illegal surveillance. So if you get pulled over for a traffic stop, y'all probably ought to know that's a violation of your rights because they're illegally surveilling. If they got cameras on you and they're going to use that as evidence, did you know they were on you? Make sure you mention that in court. Get your shit dismissed. Have a great day.